Section 5 of Poor Richard's Almanack by Benjamin Franklin. Aphorisms 500 through 599. 500. The idle man is the devil's hireling, whose livery is rags, whose diet and wages are famine and diseases. 501. The king's cheese is half wasted in parings, but no matter, 'tis made of the people's milk. 502. The learned fool writes his nonsense in better language than the unlearned, but still 'tis nonsense. 503. The magistrate should obey the laws, the people should obey the magistrate. 504. The master's eye will do more work than both his hands. 505. The miser's cheese is wholesomest. 506. The most exquisite folly is made of wisdom spun too fine. 507. The muses love the morning. 508. The nearest way to come to glory is to do that for conscience which we do for glory. 509. The noblest question in the world is, what good may I do in it? 510. The old man has given all to his son. O fool, to undress thyself before thou art going to bed. 511. The painful preacher, like a candle bright, consumes himself in giving others light. 512. The poor have little, beggars none, the rich too much, enough not one. 513. The poor man must walk to get meat for his stomach, the rich man to get a stomach to his meat. 514. The prodigal generally does more injustice than the covetous. 515. The proof of gold is fire, the proof of woman gold, the proof of man a woman. 516. The proud hate pride in others. 517. There are lazy minds as well as lazy bodies. 518. There are no fools so troublesome as those that have wit. 519. There are no ugly loves nor handsome prisons. 520. There are 3 faithful friends, an old wife, an old dog, and ready money. 521. There are 3 things extremely hard: steel, a diamond, and to know one's self. 522. There is neither honor nor gain got in dealing with a villain. 523. There is no little enemy. 524. There is no man so bad but he secretly respects the good. 525. There is much difference between imitating a good man and counterfeiting him. 526. There's a time to wink as well as to see. 527. There's many witty men whose brains can't fill their bellies. 528. There's more old drunkards than old doctors. 529. There's none deceived but he that trusts. 530. There's small revenge in words, but words may be greatly revenged. 531. There was never a good knife made of bad steel. 532. They who have nothing to trouble them will be troubled at nothing. 533. The rivers and bad governments, the lightest things swim at top. 534. The rotten apple spoils his companion. 535. The royal crown cures not the headache. 536. The same man cannot be both friend and flatterer. 537. The sleeping fox catches no poultry. Up, up. 538. The second vice is lying. The first is running into debt. 539. The sting of the reproach is the truth of it. 540. The son never repents of the good he does, nor does he ever demand a recompense. 541. The things which hurt instruct. 542. The tongue is ever turning to the aching tooth. 543. The tongue offends, and the ears get the cuffing. 544. The too obliging temper is ever more disobliging itself. 545. The way to be safe is never to be secure. 546. The way to see by faith is to shut the eye of reason. The morning daylight appears plainer when you put out your candle. 547. The wise man draws more advantage from his enemies than the fool from his friends. 548. The worst wheel of the cart makes the most noise. 549. The wolf sheds his coat once a year, his disposition never. 550. Think of three things: whence you came, where you are going, and to whom you must account. 551. Thirst after dessert, not reward. 552. Though modesty is a virtue, bashfulness is a vice. 553. Those that have much business must have much pardon. 554. Those who are feared are hated. 555. Those who in quarrels interpose must often wipe a bloody nose. 556. Though the mastiff be gentle, yet bite him not by the lip. 557. Thou canst not joke an enemy into a friend, but thou mayest a friend into an enemy. 558. 3 good meals a day is bad living. 559. 3 may keep a secret, if 2 of them are dead. 560. 3 things are men most likely to be cheated in: a horse, a wig, and a wife. 561. Tim and his handsaw are good in their place, though not fit for preaching or shaving a face. 562. Time enough always proves little enough. 563. Time is an herb that cures all diseases. 564. Tim was so learned that he could name a horse in 9 languages, so ignorant that he bought a cow to ride on. 565. 'Tis against some men's principles to pay interest, and seems against others' interest to pay the principal. 566. 'Tis a laudable ambition that aims at being better than his neighbors. 567. 'Tis a shame that your family is an honor to you. You ought to be an honor to your family. 568. 'Tis a strange forest that has no rotten wood in it, and a strange kindred that all are good in it. 569. 'Tis better leave for an enemy at one's death than beg of a friend in one's life. 570. 'Tis easier to build 2 chimneys than maintain 1 in fuel. 571. 'Tis easier to prevent bad habits than to break them. 572. 'Tis easy to see, hard to foresee. 573. 'Tis easier to suppress the first desire than to satisfy all that follow it. 574. 'Tis great confidence in a friend to tell him your faults, greater to tell him his. 575. 'Tis hard, but glorious, to be poor and honest. 576. 'Tis less discredit to abridge petty charges than to stoop to petty gettings. 577. 'Tis not a holiday that's not kept holy. 578. 'Tis a well-spent penny that saves a groat. 579. To bear other people's afflictions, everyone has courage enough and to spare. 580. To be intimate with a foolish friend is like going to bed with a razor. 581. To be proud of knowledge is to be blind with light. To be proud of virtue is to poison yourself with the antidote. 582. Today is yesterday's pupil. 583. To err is human, to repent divine, to persist devilish. 584. To lengthen thy life, lessen thy meals. 585. Tomorrow every fault is to be amended, but that tomorrow never comes. 586. Tom, vain's your pains, they all will fail. Ne'er was good arrow made of a sow's tail. 587. Tongue double brings trouble. 588. Too much plenty makes mouth dainty. 589. To whom thy secret thou dost tell, to him thy freedom thou dost sell. 590. Tricks and treachery are the practice of fools that have not enough wit to be honest. 591. Trouble springs from idleness, toil from ease. 592. Trust thyself, and another shall not betray thee. 593. 2 dry sticks will burn a green one. 594. Up, sluggard, and waste not life, in the grave will be sleeping enough. 595. Vainglory flowereth, but beareth no fruit. 596. Vanity backbites more than malice. 597. Vice knows she's ugly, so puts on her mask. 598. Virtue and a trade are a child's best portion. 599. Virtue and happiness are mother and daughter. End of section 5.